Sam shared this video with me, and it's an AI generated video. It has 7.4 million views in a month. That's crazy.
Command AI.
You see two types of Gen Z people. There is some that see this and see the tools that create this, and they hate it without any reasoning, and they just don't get anywhere close to it. And I feel like they will get stuck in the past, or like they, not in the past, but it just feels like they get stuck in their mind that they hate this thing so much.
They've made their mind up for whatever reason.
And they closed up.
Yeah.
But I see other Gen Z or whatever. I would love to see like Gen Z's take on this and use it as a tool and create stories like never before, like a fresh mind coming to this and create new. I want to see that. Like they might create some stuff that I might have a hard time to connect with, but that's kind of like the way that I want it to be. I want the fresh minds to come and, like, not that we are old. Somebody just called us seniors.
Yeah.
Not that we are old, but like there is always the younger generation with like fresh ideas, and I love to see that. I want to see the whole range, and I just feel sad that a big part of like that Gen Z doesn't see this opportunity, and they are like closing their mind off, and I find that like quite sad. Either way, it's not a it's about this specific video. It just made me think about this. What was your question on this? You asked like how much do you think it cost to create this? And my estimate was probably 2k USD in terms of basically scenes generated with Dance 5 at 1080p with Higgsfield.
This is 4K, to be honest.
Yes, it is 4K, but I think you can easily just upscale afterwards, because I don't see why you would need 4K generation. Maybe. But yeah.
Do me a favor though, and I've thought about this today. Just unfurl or uncurl, whatever, the description. Look at the team that was involved in creating this.
Interesting. I didn't look this up. So it's directed by a person, Zach London, and written by him, produced by him, but then
Gossip Goblin is a company, by the way. Fable Studio is a company, by the way.
I want to say like what? Fable Studio. Yeah, okay. So there are companies. So there are voice cast, animation lead. Interesting. That's really interesting. So these are people who know their shit, I assume.
So when you say 2K, don't these people need salaries?
No, I meant people... I meant.
No, I know that. I know that. This is where I'm going with this, right? So the top of the decision tree here is that we cannot determine what happened behind the scenes when it comes to AI generated content. Obviously the quality in this speaks for itself, like the details, the consistency between the characters, and all the rest of it. Like to most people, you can see that this obviously took a lot of work. However, majority of stuff you really don't. And I was thinking today about writing, like, so apparently 80% of all posts go out on LinkedIn are AI written. It's hard to determine.
Thank you.
Hard to determine what is a one shot and what is, like my AI content is written. My LinkedIn content is written by AI, but it's sourced from like a year or two's worth, or probably even 20 years worth of technological knowledge and understanding code and this and that. It's also based on 2 hours of conversation with you. It's based on like the amount of work that's gone into, what is essentially an AI generated post. But not only that, I've been writing a lot of posts recently with AI, but some of these posts take out hours of conversation with the AI to sculpt that. So you might put that post through an AI like detection test and it says, yep, AI, and you might dismiss it because like, oh, it was fucking AI written. But the amount of effort that it took to get to that point is completely masked by the fact that it is, for all intents and purposes, AI written content.
Yeah.
And there's no way to distinguish, apart from if the really, really shines, there's no way to distinguish that from someone who's lazily just put in one prompt, copy paste, done, or someone like me, who 20 years worth of development knowledge, back and forward with the AI, trying to sculpt it, trying to shape it and this and that. It frustrates me almost that people just dismiss AI written content when there's just no way to determine whether it's good or bad. It doesn't change the fact that it does annoy me that people leverage this and one shot it and try and pass it off as their own knowledge and this and that. It still frustrates me, but it ultimately comes down to, it's wrong to just dismiss something just because it's AI. The final result is AI. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Especially like there are like some really good AI like ads that I've seen. For example, the watch. There is one with a watch that is AI generated. I think a lot of people have seen that. But yeah, I agree. With this type of content, when I notice it's AI, it's not the only reason I like it. I felt off and I stopped watching. It started to bother me where the physics started to break. Like anywhere that
you say that, so very early on in the video, we're talking within the first 5 minutes, he chucks his jacket on the
coat, I noticed.
And I was like, the physics look amazing on that.
Yeah.
So how about you bring that up and show me where you think the physics is shit versus the physics is bad. He comes in with a blue jacket on that he chucks on a rack. So I reckon around.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So play from that.
This.
I thought it's hard to see because it's glitchy, but I thought the physics on that were really, really good.
So the jacket moves. Yes, I noticed that actually. I specifically noticed that, and that was great. But what was not great, for example, when he walks the valley here, it does look a bit strange how he puts his feet in, like look at here.
It's hard
that
to see.
That to me it looks like the feet are switching, and this happens a lot with AI. That I noticed, and it didn't work for me. And other places where he uses that hammer, the hammer, I don't feel the weight of the hammer in his hand. Like, this looks like not a heavy hammer. Look, like you can't. That doesn't work. These happen in real movies as well if there are multiple shots, and these are not good movies, right? So I guess it's a matter of multiple generation, and as I mentioned, like 2K, if they get like 400 shots, for like end up using 120 of them, but I think this can easily cost more if they decide to regenerate again and again and again until like the angle is correct, right?
There's a TV show called Peep Show, and the whole concept is you're always in a first-person view. It's the only show that's ever really done it. Is you're always looking from the perspective of someone. So if you and I were talking, it would literally be my eyes looking at you, you'd be facing me, and then the camera would switch of you exactly facing me, right? When that first came out, I dismissed it because I was like, ugh, it was low quality. Cameras were massive back then, and it was really, to get a camera in those positions, it was very, very difficult. As time went on, and it was about 9 seasons, cameras got really small and really good quality, and the quality of the show got better. But I dismissed it because it was poor quality, like video, camera, whatever. That TV show is legendary, mainly because of the writing and the idea and the concept and the character development, and there's so much more that goes into it. But I was focused on the technology side. I missed out on that because now I love it and I can see past the technology and laugh my head off at the jokes and the commentary and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Bring it back to this video right now. If you watch it all the way through, the concept, like I got lost in the concept of this video. I got lost in the idea that this is a perfect use of AI because the characters are so out there and crazy yet realistic. Like, if you were to create this in 3D, I think it would be really, really hard to create this in 3D. Like, you look at this character on the right.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
His eyes and whatever. So this is all that metal around his face and whatever, right?
Very realistic.
This is really hard to both from a 3D perspective, like a CGI perspective, and a what do you call it? A live action perspective, like getting the makeup right and this and that. So that works. This, for me, the surreal kind of slightly odd character design and the whole design of this works really well for AI. But then finally, you watch the ending. There's a monologue at the end, which is fantastic, which brings all of this together because you're lost. You don't know what's happening. You don't quite understand. It's a bit, uncanny valley and something not quite right and whatever. And that's all intentional. Everything's intentional. And it all makes sense right at the end. And it's fantastic. So by by dismissing the kind of the physics, or I don't like, and I'm not saying you're saying this, but if I don't watch AI content because of X, Y, and Z, you're missing out on so much where AI is, or where it's not AI. The storyline is not written by AI. The script is written by people, and the idea
That's a good
concept
point.
is all written by people, right? So it's just the technical execution is AI. That's all that is. So long story short, it's like, I've been there where I don't commit to something because I don't like some technical aspect of it, but ultimately there's a lot of human element that's gone into it, which is great.
We have a comment saying, loving the conversation, doing this in CGI would be absolutely hard and also would take years. Exactly, like it would take years literally to learn all of that. Well, now you could come up with the idea, your imagination, create a cohesive story, amazing characters. I mean, we all love amazing characters, and then create a show. And the fact that I thought this would cost 2K, which I think is still possible to do for 2K or something around that, maybe a bit more, maybe less, but not too much more. Like a CGI creation like this in a studio, doing it the traditional way would cost a few $100K minimum. No, probably like into the millions, right? I find it difficult to do this for under $1 million or under 500K. I'm not sure actually, but it will probably cost that amount of money. But now a smaller team can create the same output or like similar to it.
Thing is,
cool.
Enabling. You can use AI in two ways, really, and you can use AI as a cost-saving measure. You can use it to get things done quicker, or you can use it as a leverage, something to build upon. And I think like these guys are probably using it as something to build upon, like the fact that they didn't say, we're going to use AI because it's cheap. I think they thought AI allows us to there's an artistic usage of AI. They wanted to use AI. They chose to use AI. Whereas I think they might even, given they've got like an animation director and all the rest of it. I mean, I've not looked into the studio that actually what's it called? Gossip Goblin. Maybe they've got some real live action things. Maybe they do love 3D and they do use 3D, but they've chosen AI because from a creative standpoint, some things can only be achieved or it's necessary that AI is the choice of medium, But this is part of a larger conversation on my show, Command AI, which we stream live every single week. We discuss the news and all things related to AI in the world of design and web. Catch us next week and join in the banter.
Command AI.